Hi Aries, this is Sherry with True Tarot for today, and I'm going to be doing your June monthly general reading. I've already shuffled and laid out your cards, and you can see that I will be reading from a zodiac spread, and that's the 12 houses, and this is for you guys, you Rams, you Aries. That's one of my pen and ink drawings for the sign. And let's begin with your first house. So in the month of June, you're going to have a lot of happiness and you're going to be cheerful. People are going to be seeing you as a person that is friendly, outgoing. The sun sometimes indicates success, so you may have a vibe that, things are feeling good and you're feeling good and the world is all right. This is a card where usually you attract loyal people or friendships around you, and generally you're likable, you're a good friend, and so you invite friendship into your life, you invite social activity, and because your demeanor is pleasant or happy or cheerful, you give good energy to people. So this month you're going to be seen as a person, that's happy and that has their needs fulfilled. You're satisfied. Sometimes the sun can be success and creativity, but it's also, good for relationships. So in the month of June, I think you'll be enjoying some social gatherings and getting together with people that you truly like. And your light will be shining through these friendships and social encounters. Your money house has the card of change, and so for many of you, there may be a change in your investments, how you budget, and how you spend your money. This is the card of maturity, creative evolution, transformation. Some of you in June may decide to do something entirely different with your IRAs, with your investments. Many of you may move into areas that before you thought were strange. That could be Bitcoin, that could be foreign currencies. There's so many ways that change and transformation can occur. But in your money house, with with Uranus now in Taurus, it's not necessarily going to be a rough ride for everyone, but there just will be unexpected circumstances with either the monetary system, how you make money, your own savings, and things may transform in the month of June. But I think because you're feeling happy, many of these changes have come about, changes that you really want to make regarding your money, how you invest, how you budget, or how you spend your money. So I see this as somewhat of an experimental card, but also a card that shows you're more seasoned now, and you'll probably make more mature decisions regarding your finances. Okay, the third house represents your neighborhood, your siblings, your cousins. It can also be an online social media platform. Gemini rules, the communication, and today that is an environment. And so many of the people that you encounter this month in your neighborhood or cousins, siblings, you're going to feel like people are a little bit out of focus. You may have a lot of dreamers around you, people that, want to get things off the ground, but they don't have a lot of focus. Some of the people or one of the people may seem very flighty to you. This is a card where it's not concrete. And again, there are influences with Neptune this month. So a lot of people are going to be, sort of daydreaming, phasing out. You may even hear of funny propositions. And when I say funny, with Neptune, they're not always on the up and up. And so I just think for you, You're not going to be surrounded by people, family members who maybe normally are solid as a rock, whether this is siblings or cousins. May seem scattered to you in the month of June. Neighbors, the same thing. Children in the neighborhood. A lot of daydreaming and fantasizing going on. Okay, now in your home, this card is a little troublesome. It's a card of sleepless nights and worrying about a situation. Now, the worry can be about someone's health, someone you care about. Obviously, you can be worrying about a condition, that's existent in your home. This could be electrical, plumbing, cesspool. It can be worry about a family member. And so you'll have to decide who this is, but try not to get sleepless nights. Your home is a place where you should rest and recuperate, and try to talk to someone about this concern or this anxiety that you're experiencing. Sometimes it can even be over a pet. Those are our family members as well. So, in your home, you're going to have an issue come up where it's going to bring you some concern and some possible worry or anxiety. Okay, in your fifth house, this is the house of children and new love. And I consider new love a relationship that started within the last 3 years or presently. And so you have an offer, a proposition, a proposal. So for those of you, Aries, that are single, there is an attractive person who's charming, and it seems like somebody wants to court you or ask you out on a date if you haven't met them yet. So romance is very strongly indicated by this card in the month of June for you, Aries. It may not be your soulmate, but it's certainly someone, who is not hard on the eyes. And generally, they're sensitive and they're romantic, and someone has taken an interest in you. If you are coupled, this can be regarding your children, and your children would be proposing, offering something to you, a proposition. They may be pitching an idea to you. Some of your children may be getting engaged. If they're not making the offer to you, they may be getting an offer for a new job, a new relationship, a marriage. And so this is the card of emotional opportunity and approach. So whether it's you, Aries, new relationship, or it's your children, it's a nice card to have. It's certainly nice for people to have someone court them, or to have your children get engaged or get married. Okay, in your work house, you have the workhorse card, literally. This is the Knight of Pentacles. And this means that you are a hardworking person. You're showing up. People see you as honest, trustworthy, dependable, reliable, solid. Some people may think you're a little boring. They may think that, you don't go out on a limb, or you're not too spontaneous, or you're not too entrepreneurial in your approach to your work. But this is the card where you're still proving yourself. You're not a king or a queen yet. You have to apply yourself. And I think in the month of June, you will have a work ethic, and people will trust you and get to know that you're a hardworking person. Most Aries are very dedicated and hardworking. In your partnership house, you have the Chariot. So one of your partners could be extremely ambitious. They want to achieve success. I'm not going to say they want to achieve success at any cost, but this is a highly motivated person who wants to get their way and move through life and have success and achieve their aims. So partners, Aries, can be family members, they can be mates, they can be lovers, your children, they can be colleagues, someone who is your partner or considers themselves your partner is a highly motivated, ambitious individual, and they're set on a path to achieve what they want. That sounds a lot like an Aries. All right, in your eighth house, this represents legacy. It represents inheritances. It also represents shared resources. And for some of us, it can represent our sex life or our intimate life. So for those areas, that are sexually active or involved, you're still going to be coming off as a single person. And if you're married, you're going to need a lot of independence this month in your relationship. You're going to want to enjoy some of your time alone, some of your money alone, some of your friends alone. And so for many of you Aries, you may not enjoy an intimate life in the month of June. But for those that do have a partner, this indicates that you take care of yourself. You would, if you were dating someone or seeing someone, you would generally prefer your own surroundings to going to their home or apartment to spend the evening or to sleep there. This is the card where you just really like your lifestyle, your schedule, your independence. And so whether it's a male or a female, you are going to not be warm and fluffy and gushy with emotion. Everyone is going to be perceiving you as a person that likes a long leash and likes some time, to themselves. If it's regarding inheritances or shared resources, this is saying that you're in a nice position. Some of you may have been left some resources in a legacy, but this is a card of financial well-being and enjoying, the finer things or the good things in life. You have a beautiful card in your ninth house. The ninth house can represent philosophy, religion, higher education, publishing, lawsuits, and travel. And so if you travel, it would be a very productive, fertile, interesting trip. If you decide to do higher education or put more skills under your belt, any field where you're nurturing people, whether that's cooking, massage, any field where people are being cared for, I won't say pampered, but their well-being is part of your profession. Going down that path would prove very good for many of you Aries, because this is a very nurturing card. It's the Empress. Any lawsuit, if some of you have it, it would be regarding probably money or motherhood or custody. And for the females, this card favors them. Or for a man that's a very nurturing type, it would favor you as well. Anything with publishing to do with home improvement, self-care, gardening, healing arts, cooking, these publishing ventures would probably be successful because this card does represent some degree of opulence. And again, you have some really nice cards. You also have the sun in your first house. So this is augmenting, the positive energy in your ninth house. And for some of you, it just may be a rebirth of religious connection or philosophic connection. But higher education would be really good. Publishing would be really good. Travel would be really good. Lawsuits eventually might lead to a profit or, some degree of financial abundance. So it's a beautiful card. I think it more represents a reigniting of some of your values from your culture or from your religion. Okay, in your 10th house of career, you have the card of burnout and exhaustion. And so this is saying that, many of you may not be regulating your energy well in the month of June. You may just find that you feel you do things all the time and you don't delegate, and you end up feeling burdened and feeling very tired. So you just have to be a little careful this month because you have this energy burnout. For some of you, it could be a project that's come to completion and you just feel exhausted. It's possible that some project or I don't know what the right word is, but some venture, has reached a conclusion, and you can't go further with it. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be physically burnt out. It could be that a direction or a project that you were working on has now burnt out or finished. And when you have that card in your 10th house, it really is maybe time for you to either look at how you take on too many responsibilities, and it's difficult to continue working this hard, because you do have this sleepless nights in your home in June, and so you're going to have to take a little care to balance your responsibilities in the month of June. Many of you, I think, are putting on a really good face in the month, and I think you are genuinely happy, but I think you have exhaustion in the 10th house, and you have worry about someone or something in your 4th house. So these two houses are a little challenging. Now, in your friendship house, you have a beautiful card. This is the card of innocence. This is the card of no agendas. It may even indicate someone from your past. Some of you Aries may hear from a childhood friend or a college friend, or they may in fact, be your friend. And some of you may actually have someone coming in the month of June. Like I said, that's from your past. And you have a lot of sentimental, innocent feelings attached to this person. Emotionally, it's very sweet card. So one of your friendships is very sweet in the month of June. And then finally, your 12th house is kind of the house of your blind spot. And this is, the woman blindfolded. So it sort of accentuates the meaning of this card. And Aries, there's some stalemate situation in your life, and it might have been going on a long time, but in the month of June, you're going to be analyzing or looking at how this has kept you back or kept you bound and restricted, because the 12th house is kind of the card of secret enemies or being in a prison or being in bondage. And this is the card of mental imprisonment. And it's, probably in the month of June, you're just going to be like really finished or sick and tired of a situation that hasn't run its course and come to a natural conclusion. And many of you Aries, would rather hear bad news than no news. We like action. I'm an Aries myself. So any situation that's been, just stuck and immovable, this is an immovable feast. It's like two egos within yourself or outside of yourself, someone mentally challenging you or holding you in a position of a stalemate. We like action and we don't appreciate people that do that. And so there are some issues about power struggles with this card. Many people say the woman can just take off the blindfold and then everything's going to be hunky-dory and it's only in your own head. But that's not always the case. Sometimes in life, there are obstacles and there are people, that present obstacles to us. And, in relationships, you can only control yourself. You can't move or control other people to come to a conclusion, an end of a situation. Aries is better at recognizing ends. But many people never let go or don't want to let go, or they like being in some kind of mind game or mental stalemate with another individual. I would say that this is probably a situation involving an air sign, and so that could be an Aquarius, a Libra, or a Gemini, but it doesn't have to be. It can just be that you cannot move forward and you feel that you really don't have a path, or you can't make headway, or you can't address new options because there's still some stuck situation. So in the month of June, whether this is a health issue, a family issue, a career issue, someone from your past, that you feel locked in this stalemate, you're going to be analyzing it. Usually when it's in your 12th house, it means you haven't mastered yet and overrode this stalemate. Because sometimes, we can give things power if we mentally dwell on it. And sometimes it is true that you can just take the blindfold off, put the swords down, and look at the other direction, which is the water, and move forward. And so you'll have to decide what that means for all of you Aries, because this is a general reading. But all in all, you have some very nice cards here in the month of June. I would watch, the worry in the home. If you're worried about your own health, go to a doctor. If you're worried about a child or a pet's health, bring them to, the person that you need to go to. If you're worried about finances or a problem in your home, then, just try to communicate and troubleshoot, the problem so that you're not worrying constantly. And then in your career, many of you are finishing a cycle. The 10 is completion. And so many of you Aries, will be finishing a project. And the nice thing is we like new beginnings. So after the 10, the Ace of Wands appears, and that's a new project or a new job, a new direction, a new challenge. And so, you can look at this like maybe it's a wake-up call to finish something and begin something new. And for some of you, that may be the stalemate, that's referencing in your 12th house. Okay, I hope you all have Aries, a happy, healthy, productive June. Please like, share, or subscribe to my videos, and I will catch you back here next month. Take care.